Sorry guys, I was just busy giving myself cancer. You feel that, guys? That is that old school Allier type vibe, that pre-Fortnite Allier type vibe, that COD only vibe. And let me tell you guys, Treyarch just did it! Now, unfortunately, guys, the Blackout beta has come to an end. It is a sad day, so it is time to give my final review on the Black Ops 4 Blackout beta. Now, if you guys can't already tell, I pretty much absolutely love this thing, but I'm not gonna 100%, suck on that Call of Duty cock, because there were a couple things that I didn't like, although they were pretty small. Like 95% of my time with the game was absolutely enjoyable, and I have a list of a few things I liked and a few things I didn't like that I'm going to go over with you guys. So first, let me jump into what I really enjoyed about the game. So right off the bat, the first thing you do is jump out of the helicopter and you wingsuit into the thing. And I think that is so much fun. It is literally perfect. Like, gliding on the wingsuit all the way across the map is absolutely amazing. I hope they don't nerf that or change that at all. I love flying around and gliding. It's really fun. Jumping off of really high objects like the hydro dam is incredibly fun, like wingsuiting into the water. The parachuting is a little bit weird. It takes some time to get used to. At first, I thought it was like incredibly hard to go anywhere, and it still kind of is. You don't get quite the distance on the parachute, but it is like available on the wingsuit, so it takes a second to learn, but once you get it, I actually do enjoy the parachute as well. The gameplay, and more specifically the gunplay, is absolutely amazing. It is a battle royale, but it still keeps that really amazing COD gameplay. Everything you know and love, from the weapons to the gun balancing, is actually really good. I didn't think anything was super overpowered. The snipers are really strong, but I think that's just because it is a humongous map. You can snipe somebody from really far away, and I'll dive into that more tomorrow because I will be posting a top 5 weapons in the Blackout beta tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned, subscribe for that. But as far as the weapons go, I think they're really balanced, they're all really fun, they all play a different role. And the zombie weapons are actually really, really fun too, and some of them are really good. So there's another plus. I really liked the zombies aspect. Going to get the mystery box, you got players that might be there trying to get something good like level 3 armor. You've got zombies like running around that can distract you, distract other teams. Yeah! So I really do like the zombies locations, especially Asylum and the Lighthouse. I think are really fun places to drop at. It makes the Battle Royale more interesting, different from just PUBG. It's not just a PUBG clone, although it does seem very, very similar. But the zombies makes it totally different, and I think that is a humongous plus. The vehicles, guys, I did not think those things would work at all. Call of Duty never has vehicles in their multiplayer, aside from World at War, which was like over 10 years ago at this point, and those were tanks, and they were OP. They blew people up, but they actually did fantastic. I love the choppers. My favorite is the ATV because you go so fast. You're in the storm and then you're out of the storm and you can run people over. The cargo truck is probably my least favorite, I think, just because it's slow, but it is helpful, like moving you, and it does the most protection. I think they're balanced. There is a rocket launcher in the game to fuck up the freaking choppers. I mean, those things get farked. If you have a rocket launcher, absolutely destroy a chopper next time. But yeah, vehicles, especially the ATV, really fun. Glad they're in the game. Now on to the looting aspect of the game. This is something I didn't like when I first played it. The first day, probably the second day as well, I thought the looting sucked. I did not like holding square, especially if you're coming from a game like Fortnite where you just tap a button to pick up objects. Holding square was really, really annoying, and it took forever. You had to like look down at the loot. You had to hold square. If somebody shot you, you were screwed because you were looking at the god dang loot, not the person. You don't want that in a battle royale. But what Treyarch did is they made it faster to hold the square button, and they made it so you didn't have to look down. They made it so you could be a little farther away from the item, and it really fixed it. And in my opinion, it also just takes some getting used to, right? It's a brand new system. People don't like change. People like to just do what they're used to, But once you get into the system, I actually really like this system. Even though it's still a short hold, it is almost second nature to me now, and I'm really used to it. I really like the looting system now. Couple more good things. Winning is fucking amazing. I don't know how many of you guys won games, but my squad was absolutely tearing it up. We were winning games back to back, then we'd lose one, then we'd win one back to back again, and we were getting hyped in the freaking game. Like, more hyped for this COD game than I think it's been in a really long time, guys. Like, we were getting pumped. And along with winning is the leveling up system. I know it was absolutely farked the first like 3 days. I couldn't figure out how that thing worked. It like wasn't counting merits or something. But they fixed it towards like the second half of the beta, I would say. And you get 1 point for getting kills. You get 5 points for a top 5, I believe, and 10 points for a win. So if you go off in a game, let's say you get 10 kills, that is absolutely going off. Like, I know some of you guys are pros out there like,
but John, I got 22 kills in one game.
Okay, but for most people, 10 kills is a pretty darn good game, and you get the same amount of merits as you would get for winning a game. And if you are that amazing player, you would get 10 for getting the 10 kills, or 15 for getting 15 kills, and then you would get the 10 for winning the game too, so you can really level up fast if you're a good player, and I like that. I like when games reward the good player. There are a few more things that I do like about the game. If there's anything that I didn't mention that you like, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to read them and see what your guys' feedback on the game is. But I'm going to go ahead and hop into some things that I didn't really like right now. So let's talk about probably the most controversial topic in the whole beta, that being the health. And I think the health itself is good. The trauma kit is pretty good, I like that, but I think where a lot of people have the issue is the armor system. So if you don't know, if you didn't play, you get level 1, level 2, and level 3 armor. Level 3 being the only one that protects your head. So let me just say, if you're in this level 3 armor, you're not dying. You are not dying unless you suck absolute boners. And now Treyarch did address this about halfway through the beta. They made it a little bit less strong. And I saw the difference, actually, a slight difference, but it isn't as crazy as it was, but I still think it's a little too strong. If you ask me, I would rather just have level 1 and level 2 armor. That way, if you headshot somebody with a sniper from 455 miles away, you're not gonna get a hit marker, you know what I mean? Or another solution I have is if they are going to have level 3 armor, let us find the level 3 armor that protects this sexy body, and then let us find the helmet separate. So that way, if you want to have the whole thing going on, you got to find 2 different sets. You know, it's not just going to find one massive thing that protects everything. You know what I mean? Finding 2 would be a little bit more rare, or maybe you could only have the head and you would be vulnerable here. I like that idea so much better. So I doubt Treyarch is watching this, but if they are, that is an absolute amazing idea, I think. Just another side note, the game, when it ran, was really smooth. Completely surprised me. I only had like 1 or 2 games the whole weekend that really lagged bad, maybe 2 or 3. And I put in like a day and 7 hours into this beta. I no-lifed it pretty hard, and I didn't even play like one of the whole days that it was out, so I really no-lifed this thing. However, every day I was getting about 2 to 3 times where my entire game, like the application would crash and close, and then I'd be stuck on the screen, everything would be slow, it would take a million years to reboot the game. I'm sure they're looking into that, some kind of bug. And then also, I would have 2 or 3, 4 games a day where I would just be in a game and it would just kick you out. Server ended. Like I said, the games ran smooth 99.9% of the time, and I had no issue, which is awesome because they started with 80 players, they moved it up to 88, and they moved it up to 100 on the very last day. So I think that is absolutely incredible. Did not expect them to have that many players. I think when it launched, most of us were thinking about 64 players best, which, by the way, that's what Battlefield has. Sucks to be them right now. That being said, I only played solos the first couple of days, so maybe it's better now with 100 players, but solos were definitely the least fun out of duos and quads. Being the beginning of the game would be awesome, the middle would take a while, and you wouldn't necessarily see anybody until the end game. So it was a little boring playing solos. Then again, that could just be because I wasn't playing with friends and stuff like that. It's always more fun playing with friends or people you know. But solos, I would like to see the circle close in a little faster so it's a little more exciting. Another thing, I don't know about you guys, but those graphics were kind of dog shit, to put it lightly. I'm playing on a first day PS4, so obviously they're not going to be the best. The PS4 Pro, I did hear, runs it a little bit better, not much, but a little bit. PC being the best of all, obviously. I don't have a PC, but PS4 is my go-to. And the graphics aren't great. I would like to see them improve them slightly or improve the rendering distance so that trees aren't freaking pixels 200 meters away. But you know, also, I would rather see them have a smooth running game than a game that looks beautiful and doesn't run for shit. 2 more little things. The perks, some of them seemed like really useful, like awareness was amazing, dead silence was amazing. because the audio seems a little weird in the game. Sometimes you can hear people from really far away, so those perks seemed really good. And then a couple of the other perks don't seem that great, so I would like to see them add a few more better perks to the game. That's just a really small thing. Another really small thing is when you mark the map, I wish it would show up like not just on the picture of the map, but on the literal world map, so that when you're dropping, your teammates can see it, you can all go to it, or if you're running somewhere, you can see it physically in the map. That would be really useful. Another thing is, they said the game was going to be 10 years of previous Black Ops content, and if it is for the most part, it's got maps, it's got characters, but what it doesn't have that I expected were old guns. Besides like some of the zombies, like the ray gun and the Galil is in the game, I was expecting some old guns, like maybe the Commando from Black Ops 1, or the FAL or something like that from Black Ops 2. So that is something I actually hope they do once the game is live. I hope they oftenly update the game and bring back some of those throwback weapons, because I think that would be really, really cool to see. But yeah, guys, as far as complaints go, they're here, and the good stuff just completely outweighs my complaints by a million. Like I said, I'm sure they're working on most of that stuff, like the bugs and the crashes and stuff. And Treyarch has been really great about updating the game during and after the beta. They release patch notes like almost every day. That shows they're listening and that they're taking the feedback and working on it. And I cannot wait to see what they give us on launch day. I know I'll be playing a ton of Blackout, more probably than multiplayer. I'll be playing a ton of zombies. I'll be streaming, and I'll be posting Black Ops videos until then, you know, with some Pokemon stuff in between. So, all in all, guys, I would probably give this a 9 out of 10, maybe an 8.9 out of 10, somewhere in that range. It was really, really good, but there are a few little things I think they need to fix when the game actually comes out. If you guys are as hyped as me, leave a like on the video, subscribe, because I'm going to be posting so much Blackout content. If you disagree with me, let me know why in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.